Recording has been started.
All right, who wants to give recap?
Fucked up little janitor, question mark?
Roomba.
Yeah.
There was a Roomba.
Was a Roomba.
It used to be a Roomba.
You
Now
fucked up a
Plug's body
perfectly good
parts.
Roomba. Look at it. It's got anxiety.
Yeah, it's got fucking anxiety, man. The fuck?
Concussed my granddaughter? While I
Yeah.
wasn't even there?
Get concussed.
Get concussed.
That's what God said to me.
Man.
To be more detailed.
Yeah, that's fair.
Friends, I know nothing else in the room
fair.
except for I dipped out.
That's fair. There was a boss fight with a janitor. Yes, he was a robot. At one point, Aura was thrown across the room and hit a natural one on her save and got a concussion about it.
Oh no.
And Alex had a funky panic attack.
Yeah.
About you know, fire TM.
Yeah. He was a little too disoriented after being up.
Knocked out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, Ren.
It's okay. I what happened was, yeah.
Julius cast Radiant Fireball, and it looked a little bit too much like Fireball in Alex's half-awake state because he rolled a nat 1 on his don't have a panic attack save.
Yeah.
But
Man.
Julius got him to calm down and come out of it.
Yes. Power of gay.
Yeah. Gay love.
Everyone's up and functioning, and Aura is insistent on getting her thing before getting out. And so kind of held up between Irene and somebody else. I think it was Alex, maybe.
It was
Aster.
Aster.
Aster,
He's doing it. He's got a lot of the combat medic shit, and he's like, "You're fucking concussed."
Held up between Irene and Aster, she leads the party up the central stairs and in through the sort of broken, jarred open door. And what you all see walking into this room is a bit different than the room outside, in that first off, it's much smaller. But second off, most of the room is just desks and filing cabinets and weird sort of flat boxes that, like the screen, like the thing in the other room that was very flat but clearly shattered out glass, these are also shattered. And there are like long, like, strings. They look like strings to you all, like, but they're very thick, running between them and the wall and a couple of other strange little not metal boxes that are on the floor and up on shelves sideways, and they're kind of running along the walls and the floor, like connecting everything in this room together, though some of them are clearly sort of broken and falling apart and sometimes even severed, but you can still kind of see where they would have flowed together. Meta-wise, it's the computer control room of the station.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. Of course, none of you know what the fuck that means.
Nah.
I've never seen a computer before in my life.
Weird as hell. Probably not worth it.
And Ara sort of stumbles over to the first of the drawers of the filing cabinets and pulls the top one open and starts going through it. Is there anything anyone would like to do?
I'm just gonna let my granddaughter do her job.
I'm gonna look around the room. Just
Go for it. Roll an investigation check.
gonna be nosy.
Have you had a chance
Try to
take
be a
short
nosy
rest?
bitch.
Or
Yes.
What'd you say, Sarah?
have you had a chance to take a short rest?
Not since the fight, no.
Okay.
My dice luck is looking up! That's a natural 20 for,
Yeah.
you said
Okay.
investigation?
Yes.
23.
Okay.
Oh, thank God.
So what you find, Julius, I'm trying to figure out how to what I'm going to give to you in what order.
Okay.
So the first thing is that Ara is going through this file cabinet and you see her, some of it looks like paper, but others, the things that she stops and examines a little more are like thin, like, they look kind of like the small not metal glass boxes that are on the table.
Mm-hmm.
But they're much smaller and thinner and fit kind of in her hands as she turns them over and looks and like tries to focus on like small text on one side before, you know, putting one down and going on to the next one. Secondly, there are other papers sort of scattered on the desks here. Some with writing, some with what just looks like a half-filled-in chart. One of them looks like it's got some writing, but then like a little doodle of a cat
Oh.
in the margins.
Very important.
Very important. You find sort of, there's a coat hanging, or has not, no, she has refused to. There's a coat hanging off of a chair next to a desk, and when you touch it, the fabric feels weird. You've never felt this kind of fabric before.
Ooh.
It's thick and has like a little bit of a fuzz to it. Not unlike wool, but a couple steps to the left.
Interesting.
And in the coat, in the pockets, you can find some pieces of lint fuzz. A couple what looks like what looks like an ink pen, but is like the thing is about the ink pen that you find is that one, the ink nub is like hidden, and you have to twist the end of it before it comes out. But secondly, it looks very nicely made, like outside, like something, goldish or brassish in color are used as like detailing and like the actual point of the nub itself, and it's just kind of left in this pocket here.
Interesting.
You could like, this looks like something a noble would own.
Yoink. Mine now.
Take it.
Maybe the coat too.
You can have the coat, sure. It's the design of the coat is unlike anything you've ever seen. It sort of buttons in the front a little bit, but it is very like sharply tailored, and as you hold it up, the collar kind of comes up and like sticks almost straight up, and then the front of like the collar lines are very, very sharply tailored and jut and jag out a little bit. And
nice.
like, the vibe I'm trying to give you is like solar steampunk.
Oh god.
But like with this sort of like light blue and purple color scheme.
Very interesting.
The last thing of note that you find as you are going through some of the papers... No, last two things of note, two things, sorry. First, that as you are kind of gently going through the top of the desk, trying not to like touch any of the glass, the shattered glass, you realize that some of it is glass, but some of it also is like little crystal pieces. Nothing big enough that you think you could identify what they specifically are, but like they're definitely not glass.
Interesting.
The way it feels and the way it sort of is powderized is not the way that glass shatters and powderizes. I know what I mean in my head. And then finally, in a desk drawer, you find a book. It is it's leather bound, and it has like a little sort of like, leather strap around it with a buckle. And as you flip it open and sort of flick, you still can't read the writing, but you notice on one page there is a structure that looks similar to what you know of like arcane circles. And there's a small paperclip attached, like hooked on like a couple of pages, keeping them together.
Can I open it?
Yeah, the pages seem to... You don't know why they were separated out.
I'll try and keep like the marked page like marked, like...
No, they were just sort of clipped together with this paperclip. But as you sort of hold the paperclip in your hands, you kind of look at it, and one, it's a little thicker than a paperclip that you would kind of know, and two, it's a little heavier with sort of this streak of blue running around like the outside of it.
Pocket that too.
Okay. Ara goes through the filing cabinet and then flips over to the next shelving unit that's right next to it and like runs her hand on top of some of these things and then grabs something that's like no bigger than like her hand, and she's holding it and she looks at it and she looks at the back and kind of squints at it and then nods to herself and puts it in a pocket, and she's like, okay, let's go.
All right,
Alright.
lovely.
Wait. That's it?
That's it, yeah.
Alright.
It looks like the glance that you got at it is like looks like a little like gray rectangular thing, with some like light white square like design on the front, and she like pulled it off one of those strings and looked at it for a minute and then shoved it in her pocket.
All of this to retrieve someone's forgotten phone. God.
And then as you sort of exit, Ondo in the back is just kind of like, are we going out the way we came in, or the way you came in?
Well, I don't really know the way that you came in, dearies, but if that's convenient and easy, then perhaps that would be good. But our way was just fine as well.
You said you came in on the La Pierre?
Yes.
I think ours is faster then.
All right, then let's go out your way.
And Ondo kind of leads you back down the hallway you guys came in, and then off, like, you have to get around the pit again, but I won't make you roll for it this time.
God bless.
And before you hit the large sort of train hallway that you had entered in, Ondo turned to the right down a different hallway, and then you are going upstairs. And you're going upstairs for a while.
Keep having to deal with this is too many stairs.
This is too many fucking stairs.
Where was the accessibility? Tell me that.
The fucking broken ass elevators.
Bro.
And when you hit the surface, Ondo sort of he reaches up to the ceiling and like pushes something aside, and then you realize that the hole he is now climbing out of and turning around to help people out of is a small like hidden opening that as you exit you realize is sort of on the edge of the marshlands, just outside like the paddy fields of Yumsong. Probably about a half hour out of town.
So way closer than ours.
Yeah.
Nice.
And as you all sort of climb out, it's late in the afternoon. And the marsh around you is quiet. And as everyone gets out, Ara goes, close it up again, please. And Ando's like, yeah. And he pushes essentially like more or less kind of a wooden pallet over it.
Nice.
And then kicks over what is clearly like planted like shrubbery and shit to cover it back up again. And Ara's like, you're doing a bad, and he's like, shut up. Not now. Okay? And she's like, whatever. Okay, fine.
Okay.
Close to
We
an
need-
agreement. Wow.
We need to get you what we can deal with the concussion. I know why you were down there. Ando, why were you?
I was following her.
Yeah, we got that story. We thought this dumbass was just following her because he thought it was somebody sus snooping around the house, and didn't know it was her until they'd fallen in the pit.
That's that then, because I sort of known. I just didn't.
That's fine.
All right, yes, let's get home. Let's get everybody some tea and some rest, and maybe some fresh clothes that weren't stuck in a pit. Yes, let's just get back home.
Aster, you do kind of have to keep kind of like making sure Ara is like conscious, TM.
Yeah.
Has nobody healed my baby girl?
She's been healed. Concussion is a thing.
Yeah. Aster is not good enough at precise healing to magically heal a concussion.
You can't lesser restoration a concussion, right?
You might. Let me check the exact wording of lesser restoration of 5e.
Oh my. D&D Beyond, let me in. Let me into Alex.
Something would be very delighted by the implication that you would allow it in Pathfinder.
Yeah, I would allow it in 5e.
I would love to lesser restoration her concussion.
Hell yeah. She becomes so much more aware and functional.
Let's go.
In the second after Alex casts that. And she's like, okay. Good evening.
There you are, dearie. Are you feeling better?
Yeah.
I'm glad that worked.
Yeah.
I did not know that could work. Aster's gonna make a mental note that you can at least subdue the symptoms of a concussion with lesser restoration. Goddamn.
You are all able to pull everyone to Irene's place.
Yeah.
Still battered, still a little bruised, quite dirty, but all in one piece.
Thank fuck. Everyone's getting tea immediately.
Hell yeah, tea.
Everyone's getting fussed over.
Ando
I
looks
really want tea right now.
exhausted. What was that? Sorry, Sarah?
I just really want tea right now.
Yeah.
Undo, dearie, would you like to take a nap in the guest room?
That is appreciated, Grandmere. I should probably go home.
All right.
Don't think. Oh, okay.
Well, could I finish my sentence, please?
Yes.
I would like to go with you, if that's all right, just to make sure you get home all right.
That is fine. There are probably people looking for me, and
There are certainly people looking for you, but I don't want you going wandering off on your own, you know.
he smiles at you, and he's like, okay, that is fine.
All right, then I can walk you home. Ara, dear, you staying here or are you going back over to yours?
She is fucking, like, sitting at the table, resting her head back against the wall, like, teacup in her hand, and she just goes, What? Sorry?
Oh no, you just sit and drink your tea. I'm going to walk your cousin back to his house.
Okay.
All right.
And she leans her head back against the wall again.
My beautiful sleep-deprived grandchildren.
Mm-hmm.
Granny will walk Ando home.
He'll walk with you. And a little bit of the way home, he just sort of I'm sorry for lying to you.
Oh, no, you don't. Well, I'm a little bit upset about the sandings. But apart from that, it's all right, Jerry. I didn't really ask.
He winces a little bit, and he just I know you're not I know you're feeling better than I think Dara and I thought you were, but I wanted to make sure you were safe.
And that is exactly what I wanted, to make sure you were safe. So it just ended up being frustrating, but I'm not upset with you, not really. I'm just glad everyone's all right. And next time, if I ask you to take off your charm, would you take off your charm the first time?
Can't promise that, Grandma. Not all the time.
I know. Well, if it's feasible for you, just know I'll be a lot less worried if I can. If I don't have to cast sending more than once to figure out whether or not you're all right, you know.
All right.
Okay. But I'm not upset about the rest of it. I never asked, dearie. And I knew. I didn't know how to bring it up. So I didn't, and that was perhaps not perhaps. That was certainly a failing on my part. I should have brought it up sooner and talked to you about it a lot earlier. But I'm not upset with you.
He smiles at you again. Is it fair to assume that when your friends talk about fighting a chimera,
Oh, well, yes. It was quite fun, actually.
you're 250 years old, Grandmere.
242, give me a little bit of credit, dearie. I'm not quite to the quarter millennium yet, but that's not the point. There were two chimeras, actually, but that's not the point. It was actually quite enriching. I really think all the exercise and all the excitement has done me a lot of good. Plus, I know standing now, and I'm learning some other spells I'm very excited about.
Just, I mean, at this point, I guess I can't tell you, not to. Just be careful.
Oh, yes, dear, you know I will. Will always be as careful as I possibly can. I didn't even really intend to end up doing that sort of thing, but you and Ara both suggested I take a longer vacation, and I thought, well, I'm here. And then there was the whole incident with the fire snakes under the hot springs, and then off to Strait's Gallows, and that sort of the ball got rolling, and I couldn't really stop it,
There's a moment where there's something in his expression that is like, fuck yeah, do I know that? Between you and I, if you do ever end up in Calais again, you probably shouldn't tell Dad.
Oh, no. No, I don't think I will. I've got plenty of other things to talk to your father about.
His expression kind of sours a little. We know where we stand, and it's fine.
It's not fine, dear. It's not. He's your father.
Pa, he's always been a stubborn old... He looks like he's about to say the word bastard and then thinks about it.
Well, your father had a responsibility to you. And I don't care if he thinks things are resolved or if he thinks things are all right with how this has ended up. It's not. He knows better than to do that. He was raised better than to do that. And I'm very angry at him for it.
He sort of shrugs. Almost like he just doesn't know what else to do to respond to that.
That's fair. Oh, don't worry, dearie. I won't make you talk about it any longer, but I suppose that's another reason I'm sorry we didn't talk about things earlier, because I didn't know. And I should have known. And I should have asked, and I should have made sure you were all right. And I didn't.
Honestly, I figured that he would have told you.
No. I mean, with the distance and everything, sort of life updates are not as well, they're easier now with sending, but we don't really tend to
Right.
talk as much, and clearly I think it's. Well, perhaps I'm being a little harsh on all of us, but none more so than myself. It seems to run in this family to not talk about things that matter. And I know that's my fault.
Don't.
No, it is. But it's something we all need to work on, I think. As best we can, given the circumstances. I don't expect us all to be the picture of honesty all the time. I think perhaps it's better for your blood pressure if I don't mention any adventures I might get up to, and it might be better for mine if I don't hear everything about what you do. But
That's I think that is fair. I think that would be yes.
We ought to talk a little bit more than we do about things that matter, and not just pretend that everything's all right. Because it isn't always, and I want you to always feel like you can come talk to me.
He kind of like lets that kind of sit for a second. I still haven't changed my mind. I think you should probably head out with your friends again sooner rather than later.
Well, I think that I need to figure out. I don't want to leave just yet until I can feel like I'm leaving my two grandchildren safe at home. So I'm going to be staying around at least until we can get an idea of what to expect.
You'll need to get Aura to talk to me.
Yes, I will. And there's not a thing that I have done in 242 years of life that seems like it will be more challenging than that. But the stubbornness comes from somewhere, and I have had a lot more practice than either of you, so I think I shall win. Just as long as you behave. And I think I should be able to get her to behave one way or another. And then somehow maybe that at least will be easier when you've both had some sleep and some more food and just some time not stuck in a pit together, I think.
Yes, I think that was the most time I've ever spent with her in the same room outside of, family reunions.
Yes, and well, I don't know if that went worse than our average family reunion.
And it was more honest.
I suppose in many ways one could say it went better, but all that aside, I will talk to Aura. All three of us will have to talk. My friends, I'm sure, will have thoughts and ideas and input, but you can rest assured that you can have a day without your cousin
And she can have the same, and maybe both of you will be calmer and happier for it.
There's a lot of things instinctually, I will say, but I think I need to sleep.
Yes. You do need to sleep. I ought to sleep. I ought to go make sure Aura is going to get to sleep. You let me know if you need anything at all, alright, dearie?
I will.
Alright.
And about now is when you're interrupted by someone shouting from down the street, and you both look, and it's that twink.
The twink!
Yes.
The twink
Who-
returns.
Who is shouting for Ondo, and he just kind of, well, we'll see when I get to sleep.
No. Hold on. She's still holding his hand as they are continuing to walk down the street towards the twink.
Mm-hmm.
When we get within loud speaking distance of the twink, because Granny is not going to shout, Granny is like,
Alright, stop that ruckus. Alright, I found him. He's just fine. He needs some rest. At least a nap. Probably longer than that. You don't go overworking him. Let a little sleep happen. Now. Go on, Ondo. Get your rest. I'm sure they all need to rest too, since they've been up all looking for you. Everything's just fine. Now just go on.
And the twink is a little flabbergasted.
the twink should be flabbergasted. I don't give a fuck what kind of criminal he is.
And he kind of looks at Ondo and looks back at you and then looks at Ondo again and then is just like, yes, ma'am, okay.
Thank you, dearie. That's a good boy. Now run off. Granny's gonna hug Ondo and then leave him with the twink.
Other people are starting to emerge as well, kind of from further down the street, and it seems like it is the cohort.
The dodgeball team, you mean?
It's the dodgeball team.
Ideal.
And you are able to head back home. For the rest of you, Irene is gone with Ondo for like 2 minutes, and Aura has fallen asleep against the wall.
Having a little nap as a treat.
I think
Mm-hmm.
Julius will try
Well,
giving
at
her
the
a
very
blanket.
least, grab one of the.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're both on it. He's gonna stop though when you reach for it and just be like, maybe you should do it. She doesn't really like me.
Either way, you can provide her with a blanket and remove the tea from her hands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Julius will take the tea, you can give her the blanket.
Yeah.
Cool. Teamwork.
Asta's moving a little bit stiffly. He did get the shit kicked out of him pretty bad by the robot. Not as badly as Alex, but pretty bad.
Mm-hmm. I think Julius has a little bit in him. I think Julius will probably give you a good cure wounds. What does he have left? Oh yeah, he's got a 3rd level left. He'll burn a slot for you to heal you. 3d5 or 3d4.
If you're doing cure wounds, it's 3d8.
No, I don't have cure wounds. I have healing word.
Oh, right.
Oh, that's pretty good. So that's 4. You're getting 18 points back. Actually, I could re-roll one of those. Fuck it, I'm gonna re-roll. Yeah, no, same thing. So 18 points. I rolled pretty high.
Well, that doubles the amount of hit points he was on.
Yeah.
It does feel better, Aster, but like that little
Yeah.
ache that you are like, oh, that's gonna be days is still like it's lessened. The edge of it is off, but it's like fuck.
I'm still gonna have to be careful for the next couple of days.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not gonna be on my ass when that hits.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Sometimes an infusion of bloodroot and some tea can help. At least for aches.
I think I have a prescription. I think I have a prescription, but I haven't been in a place I can fill it for a while. One benefit, I guess, to my work is that there is actually a remarkably robust healthcare system, which sounds kind of oxymoronic when you think about who I work for. But it's fine. I'll find somewhere that won't blink at a 15-year-old filling this kind of script.
Well, I should hope they give you good health benefits. I'm gonna go curl up by the table. Julius just folds himself in, and probably gonna sketch in a sketchbook for a little while.
Yeah.
Just to chill out. Actually, he might look at, like, the book that he ended up pilfering.
Okay. Again, it is in a language that you don't read.
Yeah. He's looking at the shapes.
If you want to make an Arcana check, I'll let you.
Sure. I'll try. We'll see if anything comes to mind. Ooh, okay. Arcana, oh, maybe I'm not trained in that. That's okay. That's just a 16.
Yeah, so you don't know how to read it. You're not very trained in arcane magic. You're a sorcerer, but you're a divine sorcerer.
Yeah. And mine is nature of, like, this is just what I can do with myself.
So you have a little bit of instinct, but it's a little bit of instinct to the right, and it's...
Well, when Granny's in a headspace, maybe she'll be able to take a look at this.
You are able to, again, like, when you're looking at some of it, like, that is definitely, like, the shape of an arcane circle.
I can tell it's magical of some sort, just not what type.
You can't tell what type, you can't tell what for, but it definitely feels like something that, like, an arcane person would probably have more luck with.
Gotcha. Alright. That's all he'll do, and then get some rest.
Irene, by the time you get home, like half of your grandchildren are asleep on the floor.
They're just having little naps. They're just a little eepy.
Snooze.
Snooze. Gonna send Snowball to, like, gently make biscuits on Ara to perhaps coax her into a wake so that I can redirect her to sleep somewhere that's not in the chair against the wall.
That is successful. And she kind of shuffles off, like, into the guest room.
Tuck her in, send Snowball off to be a little cozy lad. Anybody else who's taking a nap, well, I mean, they look comfy on the floor, I guess. But
the evening can be spent with self-care activities.
God,
Yeah. Ideal.
Is Alex able to find, like, a place to be alone for a bit?
Yeah, I would say so.
Like
There
in another
is-
room?
There is the room that was at one point a bedroom, but is now kind of the Snowball room. That
it is a Snowball room.
with Snowball with Aura is alone. Without Snowball, you can be alone in it. Yeah.
Alex just wants to be in a separate room. Have a trauma moment. It's fine.
Buddy.
As a treat.
As a treat, truly.
Let him process his emotions. My god.
When has he done that?
There's a moment. There's a moment, Alex, where you feel something sort of brush up against your back. And for a second, you think it's Snowball. It kind of feels a little bit like a cat. And when you turn, she's not there. And then the weight pressing on your back, you realize is a bit too big. But it's warm. It feels like fresh air, almost. And then it's gone.
I'm gonna sit up a little straighter. Breathe.
The air that you breathe that fills your lungs feels warm. Like a stiff summer breeze.
Nice. Nice. He feels a little better.
Anything else anyone want to do?
No, I'm good, I think.
Not me.
I think, I don't know when Granny gets back, but Julius does wait up for her a little bit, though. Just to make sure she gets home back. Alright.
X is going to find a corner, set their back to the corner, and just kind of wrap themselves in the cloak. Not talking to anyone.
And Granny returns okay, Julius?
Cool. Anxiety somewhat lifted. Julius will be such good grandson for her.
I will let it all pass to the next morning.
Yay, long rest.
Long rest for everybody.
I didn't lose much HP, but, you know, it's nice to get my spell slots back.
Aura will help with breakfast.
Yeah. Julius is... I feel like Julius would have probably started making breakfast too. Since we've said that that's kind of his thing.
Mm-hmm.
Breakfast guy.
She doesn't really say anything, Julius. But... not in a hostile way.
No. If it's just a comfortable silence and she doesn't want to talk, he's not gonna make her. Just chill.
Mm-hmm. And you can all share breakfast. Congratulations.
Yay!
Breakfast.
Breakfast.
Family meal.
Get breakfast,
Eating.
you idiot.
Yeah, grandchildren eat.
Consume.
A little after breakfast, Aura does. Well, there are some people I need to contact. And I'd rather not do that from inside this house.
Fair, dearie. When you're all done with work, are you going to come back over, maybe?
If you'd like.
I think that would be good.
Alright. She gives you a little forehead kiss.
I squeeze her hand in the grandma fashion.
She will clean her plate and head out the front door. And you're all left alone over around Granny's dinner table.
Well, the world isn't on fire.
Yeah.
Can't say that.
I think this is probably the worst and best way that could have been a revelation. He's talking to Irene about the...
Yeah. I think that went better than I expected. I think. I mean, I'll be quite honest. I thought both of them were going to be dead by the time we found them, so this is much better than I expected.
Julius is going to reach out and give her hand a little bit of a pat.
Pat, pat. Thank you all for all your help with everything, always, but especially for this. I know they're a bit... They're interesting people. They're a bit quite a bit to interact with sometimes when they're together. But thank you all for not escalating anything.
That would be rude to you, and to them. At least in my opinion.
Well, I do appreciate that, dearie.
It's truly the least we could do for you.
Oh, you know. I'm going to need to get them to talk to each other again. For the purposes of figuring out what sort of happens going forward. Ando still wants me to leave, by the way. Whereas I'm sure Aura still wants me to stay. So, that's going to be fun.
Yeah, I'm not sure what advice to give in this situation. If you would like to stay to make sure nothing happens, I think that's a good decision, but to leave would also be... I don't know.
I'm certainly not leaving I'm not packing up and leaving the way Ando expects me to, and
No.
I made that clear to him. But I'm going to have to... Somehow, we're going to have to facilitate those two coming to some sort of arrangement that will be, if not comfortable, bearable for both of them, considering their jobs, considering their opinions of each other, and considering that I don't want to leave the city until I'm quite sure that both of them are going to be as safe as they can be. So, you all don't have to stay, of course. There's always, if you'd like to, move on. Well, I don't. I just don't feel like you have to be tied down because I want to stay and look after my grandchildren for at least a little bit. I need to figure out this, but you don't have to feel as though you have to wait to be on my timetable.
I think for most of us, Granny, we don't really have a timetable. There's no real place that we're itching to go to at the moment. Unless somebody else is not telling us something.
I'm not telling you plenty of things.
I mean, I'm not talking in that. I mean the specific timetables.
I'm fine to stay.
All right. Well, if that changes at any time for any reason, just know that I won't hold it against anybody whatsoever. I just, you know.
Granny, I made a very similar offer like a week or two ago. With my own bullshit, I'm not leaving you.
Well, yours was different. Yours was very, very sort of very, very important. It's not as though.
And you all didn't really know me that well at that point.
Give yourself some credit. It's been more than a week or two.
Granny, I wasn't very likable when you guys met me. I don't...
Well, that just depends on your own definition of likable, dearie.
I liked you.
Exactly. I'm sure we all liked you.
Yeah. He looks at Ix.
I mean, I still think you're kind of a dick, but It's been proven I have shit taste in friends and things, so whatever.
The feeling is mutual.
X flips him the finger where Granny can't see.
He blows her a kiss.
You do remind me of my grandchildren, just let the record show. It's like, it's almost a more wholesome form of bickering, except I think it seems more wholesome because I don't see all the messy bits.
I mean, I do have one question, Granny.
Yes, dearie.
Did you know what... How to be polite. Did you know what line of work they were in before you left town?
Oh, yes, dearie, I'm afraid I did. I did very much know. And I apologize for not, being forthright with you all. Well, it's not really the sort of thing that you bring up without somebody's permission. They didn't know that I knew, of course, but it's just, they're not really very subtle, either of them. Ando less so than Ara, but even Ara, I mean...
No, not really.
I mean, I met Soshu while he was over at her house for breakfast one day.
Ah,
What's
that
that
explains
like?
why you had a more cordial interaction.
And I apologize again for not being forthcoming with that. I was very, very afraid at the time that it was going to cause problems for Aura, and I didn't want to be the cause of that ever. So yes, I have known for a long time. I have known what Ara's been up to, and I've known what Ando's been up to. Ando really doesn't hide it at all. I can't blame them for thinking I was going senile, because really it was obvious, and I should have caught them much earlier if I truly hadn't known, but I did know, and it just didn't seem like they wanted me to know. So I decided not to tell them that I knew. And that was not the best decision I've ever made, I don't think. I'm quite sure it wasn't.
But
it's
not
what's
bad.
done is done. They know. I know. And I did know, and I am sorry that I didn't tell you before.
I mean, people have kept worse secrets from me. That one doesn't hurt my feelings.
It's a pretty fair assumption that we wouldn't need to know, because why would either of them do things that would make it our problem?
I was really quite
And then they did.
offended about them meeting you all, I'll be honest. But I suppose it went better than anticipated in many ways. And that's nothing against you, and it's nothing against them. It's just I wasn't sure if there was going to be unavoidable conflict. And you know.
Yeah.
But they're my grandchildren. And I love them very much. And I wanted to, of course I wanted you all to meet them. But I was nervous about sharing things and causing trouble, and sorry, Ix, I hope I answered your question.
I mean, you certainly answered one.
I can answer more if you'd like, dearie. I won't. I don't really have any more secrets I'm invested in because those I was only invested in because they weren't really my secrets, but
I mean... No, you know what? I'm reading too much into this. I'm gonna take 5, take a walk, have a look around, get some fresh air. I'll be back in like 20 minutes tops.
alright.
And X is gonna take a walk.
Do I believe that Ix is just gonna go chill?
Roll an insight check.
Yeah, that does. Ix doesn't seem very chill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also want to roll an insight check.
Oh, that's hold on. What is my... oh, Jesus.
Well, I'm making the deception check, and then I will PM the number to Parker. And I'm rolling
X-
dice for this because I have fancy new dice.
16.
I rolled a 19 on the dice.
Till PM when you're
Hang on,
ready.
I'm PMing Parker. Ah, if I can work this code and move things out my way.
I want to get better at insight, but my wisdom is so low.
Where is Parker? On here. There.
Inevitable sense.
Okay. Alex, you can't quite read her. They're a little gone. They're gone before you can really get a sense. Julius, by God, is that bitch storming over something, and has been for a minute.
Would I assume Julius can't quite pin down what it is that might have been a trigger or something.
No, but she's been this way since at least you got back to Horitari.
Since after the temple.
Yeah.
Or not temple, burial thing.
The tomb.
Yeah.
But you also very much get the sense of, like, Ix, if you follow Ix right now, Ix might, like, stab you.
Yeah, no.
So-
He's like,
Yeah.
okay, I've noted this down in my mental little notebook. I'll confront her later. When she doesn't look like she's going to kill someone. Alright. Good to know.
Is there anything else anyone would like to say or do at this moment?
God.
Not at the moment. Although later today, Asta might go see if he can get some clay and.
In which case, Ix, you have a funky 20-minute little walk, I presume.
Yes. Just walking, trying not to think, but simultaneously kind of mentally making note of where they're going, where the turns are. Handy little corners that could be used to hide if they need to run away from anything.
Yeah, okay. Make me an intelligence check.
Okie doke. I will roll this. Oh, Ix isn't very intelligent. See what I mean? That's a 5.
Oh no.
I love them.
Your ability
Street
to
smart, not book smart.
yeah, your ability to not think is a little rough. And yeah, you get your route down, but you're like, fuck. A lot of these houses are like too far apart to have any good hiding places between them. But you can get back in 20 minutes, no problem. You are all allowed the next couple of days as fun and funky downtime.
And funky.
Sorry. Just gave me the thought of, could try to make a set of sending stones. And I was like, I think magic item crafting in 5e sucks.
Yeah.
Why is that the thought we got?
I mean, you could go looking for some.
Wanted that badly. There was just the thought of, we have people who have sending that we could probably make some sending stones fairly easily. And then I was like, making magic items takes so long and so much money.
I didn't even know we had a magic item crafting system in this system.
Yeah, I think it's buried somewhere in the DM guide.
It is, yeah.
And it's bad. They theoretically retweaked it some in Xanathars, but it's still not as good as it should be.
If that's what you want to do, like if you want to make some sending stones, I am willing to look at the mechanics and possibly rework some mechanics. That is not a thing I can do on the fly.
Yeah.
But I'm totally willing to look into that if that's, you know.
Yeah. I'm not sure if it's something I actually want to commit to, because one of the reasons I was having the thought is, an easy way for Irene to contact the grandchildren that isn't reliant on us not having had a combat. But no, I don't think that Asta's thinking about it strongly at the moment. He's too busy rotating other thoughts.
Get in the salad spinner.
The thoughts are in the salad spinner, and he's not smacking it, but every time he looks away, it just starts spinning. The salad spinner is haunted.
That's
That's Eudora.
Once Ren gets back, he might seek out Julius, but
All right, can we take like a 5-minute break? Because I suddenly need to
yes.
do some bio stuff. I'll be right back.
Oh.
Be right back.
And something with the image of the salad spinner's haunted.
I do want sending stones for my grandchildren, Joe. That's a fantastic idea. They have to keep the little grandma rock in their pocket at all times.
Wait.
Answer your phone if mom's calling.
Answer your phone. Your grandma is calling you.
I mean, Asta is getting some clay because he needs to make some things. So he could, like, make the shapes of the stones and we could infuse them with the magic.
Make a grandma cell phone for my grandbabies, please.
I am having thoughts about what Asta is making out of clay, and it doesn't need any tools because he's just doing shapes, but they're very particular shapes.
Shapes. Oh yeah, the book.
The book.
Look, when Perky gets back, we can talk about the book and Granny can read that for you. No, you did not miss much, friend.
No, Parker is taking a bio break.
I'm failing at Sudoku in case anybody was curious.
Oh, I should keep trying to do that Sudoku, but looking at it too much, I just couldn't parse any of the information it was giving me. But I am more awake now.
Been on a huge
Also,
Sudoku kick for like 2 days. I was super high last night, and like the Sudoku was like basting my brain.
fair enough.
I did not do too well at the Sudokus that I was doing, but then I watched some Sudoku videos and I was like, this is the best feeling ever.
Yeah. So there's gonna be a Julius Granny conversation and an Asta Julius conversation.
I'm gonna acquire an X conversation at some point.
If I can squeeze in an Alex and Julius one.
Hard for it.
Let's make a conversations list.
How many downtime conversations do we want? And can we fit them all in one session?
We have Aster plus Julius. We have Alex plus Julius.
We don't need to. Okay, the Julius one does not have to be right now if other people's are more plot relevant.
Granny plus X. We have Julius plus X.
X, say words out loud to other people.
No, but Ix does not know how to do that.
Okay.
Ix has never, ever in their life had a strong, emotionally stable role model. Ever.
By God, we're gonna get this fucking child some coping mechanisms and some communication skills. Is that the list of conversations we need to have?
Coping mechanisms. He ran off to join a criminal gang, realized they were people trafficking, and then ran away and stabbed people as they did so. That is their coping mechanism, stabbing people.
That's Granny's gonna go ahead and just gently
So
redirect.
much.
We need a different, better coping mechanism. Nick.
Y'all
We
want
need any other
Julius.
coping mechanism.
Y'all want Julius so bad.
Everybody wants like
Everybody desires Julius.
so true.
Look, Ix and Julius are so much alike.
Yeah. This is so true. God.
Julius are so alike, and
He
you're
needs
both
to
so
talk
much
to
like my
her.
grandchildren.
Also, he wanted to talk to Nin at some point, just to be like,
Julius
"Are you
plus
okay,
Ix, we're adding
baby?"
it. Or Julius plus Nin.
Julius just
That's
wants
the
to be
list, I
like,
guess.
Nin.
There we go.
God, entire party. I can't.
Ren, you don't have to do all of these conversations today. Only some of them. Which ones? Hold on, we'll sort them. I'll put stars by the ones that are like happening today.
Jesus
Like,
Christ.
need to happen today.
Scheduling Julius talks.
We're scheduling Julius talks. Is Aster a priority conversation?
I think you will chicken out if it is not.
Okay, Aster's a priority conversation. You said Alex and Julius doesn't need to happen necessarily this session.
Yeah, Alex and Julius can wait.
Yeah, that's the
Alex
gay
and
talk,
Julius
isn't
can
it?
wait until it's funniest. That's the gay talk, yeah. Alex and Julius can wait until it's funniest.
Okay,
Yeah.
that one's for funny.
We should be on the road to have that conversation because it would be funny.
Yeah, it would be funny.
Come on, Lance.
Is Julius plus Ix a this session priority?
Maybe? It's been
Okay.
the next day since the time she walked out, so it might be like Julius being like, hey, how's it going, buddy? Because I feel like it's going to be a very quick conversation, so
All right.
maybe.
It will entirely depend on how Julius approaches it.
Yeah, and also, Ix has been sitting on this since the temple, and you don't get to play with us for too long, so I'd like to get yours in as soon as possible.
The ones with X are higher priority because Amy dips a lot earlier than the rest of
Yes,
us.
because
Yeah, I'm
time
going to
zone.
be putting off for the next half hour, so if it doesn't happen this week, it can happen next session.
It's happening this week, I swear to God. Alright, we've taken 2 Julius conversations off of the priority roster for you, Ren.
Hog.
Okay. I see a priority roster.
It's not
They all
actually in
want him.
order. It's just that the ones that are starred are most important, and we've just determined that the Ix conversation should happen now rather than later.
Yes.
Now I gotta fucking think. Good God, I've had alcohol today. Hold on.
I mean, I can have a Granny Ix conversation if you're still thinking about your Julius Ix conversation.
I mean,
It-
it will probably be a
whichever
quick
you-
one, so we'll do the Julius one too for a bit, I suppose.
Actually, give me one more second.
Yeah. Okay.
We plan out our inter-party roleplay conversations because we are responsible.
We get so
Are we?
into it, and it will take so long. And the person who has to go to bed at a more the person has to go to bed soon is
Yeah.
involved.
We
Exactly.
prioritize. We are efficient with our roleplay only when it matters.
Also, I
Okay.
want to know. I want Ix conversations because that's fun.
All right, go for it.
Yeah. Jesus. Now I gotta think about it a little bit. I think he'd try to approach her on like, he's gonna catch you unaware. That's the thing.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
I think like it's maybe like I don't know what time of day it is. It's like either after breakfast or like just before lunch where he's just like gonna catch you at a point where you're like just kind of fucking vibing.
I need to know, are you literally trying to sneak up on Ix?
No. Like you
Damn
know that he is there, but he's gonna give you like one of those playful side jabs with the elbow.
Oh, Ix is totally jabbing back with an elbow. Ix is probably going to put a bit more oomph behind it, though.
Oh, God. Good to know that
What
you're...
do you want? It's too early.
I guess it is. Want to take a walk with me for a minute?
Out of curiosity, what would you do if I said no?
I'd be very sad and I'd cry about it.
You're not tempting me to go for a walk with you right now, you know that, right?
I'd cry so hard, Ix. Granny would be very sad about it too if I cried.
Ugh.
He grins.
You get to use that shit precisely once before I slap you.
Alright. Let's go. Come on. I think the fresh air will do us both good.
I mean, it might kill us.
I'm willing to take the chance.
How are you so chipper at this time of day? It's like
I'm a
barely past
morning person, Ix.
Ugh. I'm adding that to my list of reasons you're a dick.
He winks at you.
Totally following despite all this shit.
Yes.
How much they're complaining.
It's a slightly overcast sort of day.
See, perfect weather.
If it
But
rains,
it's
I'm gonna
nice.
stab you in the kidneys.
It doesn't look like rain. It's more of a nice break from some of the blistering summer.
Hell yeah.
As summer really starts to kind of heat up, having the cloud cover is really nice. And things have been quiet for a while.
Quick question.
Mm-hmm.
What is the weather like? Actually, no, I will ask that later in a message because it's not really important right now.
Okay.
And I will get derailed by information like weather.
Weather. I think it's like a couple minutes into the walk, and well, maybe not too far into it. It's just like we've kind of like crossed it a little bit away from like the cul-de-sac that we've been in for Granny's place, and he just kind of turns to you a little bit and just is like, "We had a little bit of a walk yesterday, I noticed."
My god, your perception is amazing.
Thank you, I pride myself on it. No, for real, Ix. How's it going?
Can I ask if Julius makes a persuasion check there?
Persuasion? You want me to?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's more for vibes than actual numbers.
That's an 11 plus 8 for a 19.
Ooh. X, I will say, gives it a second, and then you see their shoulders slant slightly.
He kind of
No,
like
I'm
lets...
trying.
He lets
I
the
did.
smile falter a little bit.
I just needed to walk. Moving's easier, I don't think, when I move so much.
He nods
You know how
quietly.
that is sometimes.
He nods quietly in agreement. I mean, it's harder to read people sometimes, but I know the feeling of needing to be or do something else. Is there something weighing on you?
What isn't right now? It's weird. I spend a lot of time as a kid. And a teenager and an adult. changing my face and running away when things get hard. And part of me wants to do that now. And part of me doesn't, and that's even harder. And it sucks. And I'm angry at everybody and I don't want to be.
I think Julius kind of slows walking at that point. Kind of looks off a little bit and then nods. I think I had that problem a bit too. Back when everything happened with the cage falling apart. I ran away, too. In a sense, I like to say that it was before myself to get better, but I did run away. But staying is harder. But it's worth it, I think.
I mean, it fucking better be, because my head is just a mess right now. She kicks you in the shin at that.
Ouch! Shit!
Don't be a dick.
Sure, but you love me, don't you?
I tolerate you. Like,
That's a
mold,
step
you
away
grow
from
on
it.
people. Growing on me like mold. Smelly and green.
Excuse you, I'm red. Are you colorblind?
I could be, you don't know.
Would you tell me if you were?
No. I'd lie to you about it and confuse you.
Wow, gaslighting. I'm afraid. So shameful.
I think you on the shin at that.
This time he gets tears in his eyes because that probably actually hurt. God, leave my legs alone.
I mean, I could aim for something else if you'd prefer.
Please don't. I don't.
Suck it up and accept me kicking you in the shins. Oh, it's just...
If it would make you feel better, you can kick me in the shins when it gets hard.
You promise?
I make no promises, but I'm...
Coward.
I will get you coupons. One free shin kick. How's that sound?
Hold you to that. I will hold you to that.
I'll get working on it right away. He's gonna lean over and give you like one of those side hug things.
Ugh, affection as well. Jesus Christ, you think I'm dying.
Are you? He's grinning at you.
I mean, technically everyone's dying at any minute.
So true, so why not give affection, eh?
Ugh. You suck. She will lean into your side, however. As you hug them.
Oh. Yeah. He ignores the words you have said and gives you affection.
Picking up bad habits with you a lot.
I don't know, I think they're pretty great.
I'm going soft.
You're getting, what's it called? Enrichment? Yes, they'd call that enrichment, I think. Or
Isn't that what
enriching
you
people to be around.
You know, if it makes you feel better, you think that.
You little shit. He's gonna give you a jab in the ribs for that one and push you away.
Ow. Oh. It's just... that fucking doppelganger. I was fine. And then that bastard.
He kind of
None of you
winces a
know-
little bit.
None of you noticed, and that's messing with my head. And I know it's because that's what it does. I know that. I do. But...
Still, that was a really shit thing to have happen, and I'm really sorry. I wish we would have known sooner.
Yeah, me too. It wasn't your fault, it was his. You didn't have to be so nice to him for the record, but I know what you did. Why you were, I should say.
Oh no, I tried, well...
I mean you as a group, not you particularly so much.
Okay. Well...
Collective, you not
if there's a next time and that happens to me, by all means. Either way, I think we'll try and work to make sure that doesn't happen to you again.
I need you on my side to persuade the others that sometimes violence is the answer.
I'm a very persuasive Manix. I think I could do that. For a favor or two.
I'm pretty sure Nin would agree.
Maybe.
Nin's cool. Granny!
Nin is also very sweet, is the thing.
This is true. Aster? I think... I don't know.
I don't know either.
I think Alex would be cool with it as long as we proved it was the right thing to do.
I feel like you're probably right on that one. But, I don't know.
It's just, did you see the disappointed expression Granny pulled at her grandkids down in that thing we've just been to? Could you imagine her turning that face on you?
Well, I mean, I can, but it's not very pleasant.
Exactly. I never knew that disappointing someone was actually such a thing to worry about. I kind of preferred when I didn't have people to disappoint.
It is a lot different to have that weight, I suppose. Not that I've ever been free of it.
I like your sister. She was cool.
Oh,
She was fun.
She's wonderful.
She kicked her ass.
She did. Honestly, I deserved it. She was beating up a coward.
Yes, you did. But don't worry. I wouldn't... I'm the last person that would call you a coward. I'm not that much of a hypocrite.
He gives a slight smile. I mean, it's nice to hear that. I don't tend to think of myself as anything else sometimes.
It's like I said, being an adult sucks.
It does.
All this introspection is giving me indigestion.
Maybe Granny has something back at home to help with that.
Or we could just go... Fine. Oh. No, because then if we go cause trouble, then we'll get the disappointed look.
You wanted to cause trouble with me!
I mean, with you, without you. Trouble is just nicely distracting from thinking.
Maybe we can sneak out tonight and have some trouble.
I think we should. We'll take Nin with us.
Yes! Oh, I think she'd have a blast.
I mean, not too much trouble. I think if we cause too much trouble... No, we should cause trouble. We should take Nin.
It's the least we could do.
Unless Nin doesn't want to go, in which case, you know, we'll persuade her.
You could probably persuade Nin into that.
Excellent.
Alright.
We should probably go back before they,
Yeah, I think they'd find it suspicious if me and you were left alone together for too long.
Look, I mean, it's not as if we know people who are involved in the local criminal empires or anything.
No, we don't. Totally not. We're extremely innocent people.
Oh, which reminds me, I should give Ara a heads up about the blood thing. I'm sure she... but...
True. Well, with any luck, her name was one of the vials we shattered.
I still don't trust that Soshi was telling the truth about that, you know.
No.
I fully expect that to come back to bite us in the ass.
I would assume there's more out there, but
man that he was.
It's nice to be hopeful at least.
If he does pop back up again, I am going to find a way to kill him permanently.
Just don't let Granny know about it. I think she'd be heartbroken again.
Oh, you had to say that, didn't you?
I mean, she's on my mind constantly because she's so sweet and I don't have any other grandmothers, so you know how it'd be. Let's just try to be on our best behavior, yada yada yada.
When the fuck did you suddenly become my conscience?
I don't know, when I gained a sibling or something and suddenly became aware of so many things.
You suck.
I get it.
He pulls the punch. She noticeably pulls the punch as they hit you in the shoulder.
Yeah. He'll take it and he's just gonna wander with her back. They're gonna poke fun at each other the entire time.
Oh god, yeah.
Does Ix look like they're in a better spirit at the very least?
A little bit, yeah. More importantly, you kind of probably get the impression that Ix isn't masking so heavily.
Okay. Good to know. He'll keep that in mind.
Okay. Do we want to... We're gonna throw in the other Ix-Granny.
Ix-Granny.
Gonna do Ix-Granny?
Ix-Granny. Yeah.
Alright. Amy, you down for Ix-Granny?
Yeah. It would probably make a certain amount of sense for Granny to ambush them as they get back anyway.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Granny will see them get back and,
Oh, Julius, I think I still wanted to talk to you.
He opens his mouth and shuts it and is just like, alright. And he'll just give Ix a little bit of a pat on the back.
Ix flips him off again where Granny can't see.
He just rolls his eyes and is gonna go find Aster.
Do you think you could help me get the teapot from the top shelf? The other one. The other one has like a weird crack starting in it, so I want to use the other one, but it's up there and I can't reach it.
Oh, yeah. Sure, of course. Whatever you need.
Roll Dexter. No.
I will say that with the new rules, I think Ix can change their height ever so slightly if they can't reach. I don't remember where that is.
It's easy enough for you to get it. It's like...
It's not a super tall kitchen.
Yeah.
It's just that Granny is not even 3 feet tall. And also she's fully lying. She has Mage Hand and she could get it herself, but
I don't know that that would even occur to X, to be bluntly honest.
It doesn't occur to most people, and that's how Granny gets away with a lot.
I love her.
Thank you, Jerry. I really appreciate it.
It's
Do you
no
want some
problem.
tea? Have some tea. I'll make some tea.
Oh, yeah, sure. Tea would be nice. Is everything okay, Granny?
Yes, I just... I wanted to ask you if you were doing all right.
Have I been... Weirdly, that's what Julius of all people wanted to ask.
Is that so? He's so sweet.
He has his moments, and if you tell him I said that, I will deny it under pain of torture.
Oh, it will never leave my lips. Absolutely not. I'll take that to the grave.
I've been, You know, it's just been a weird few weeks.
That's very fair.
Oops. With everything, and... Oh, I really don't have words. Words are hard sometimes.
You don't have to talk to me about anything if you don't want to, dearie, but you can talk if you'd like, and I just wanted to check in because I wasn't sure if I'd upset you yesterday or not, or if it was something else, and I just wanted to make sure you were okay.
A lot of it was something else, but I don't know, a little bit, maybe indirectly. It kind of hurt a little bit that you... I know why you did it. I get it. I do. I know why. But it hurt a little bit that you didn't tell me when all the stuff came out about the blood and the vials and Soshu holding that over my head. It hurt a little bit that you knew him before that and you didn't say anything. And that you didn't say anything about Ara, which I get. I totally understand why you wouldn't say anything because it's her business, not yours. I get that, I do.
That's a very, very understandable reason to be upset. I will say I didn't know. I'd never exchanged words with Soshu before we all interacted with him. And I wasn't even entirely confident in my own recollection. And I've already explained why about everything with Ara, and that's also why I didn't mention Seishu, because I didn't want to put suspicion onto her. But you are absolutely allowed to be upset with me for that, and I'm sorry.
It's like, I know, I understand, I get it, I do. I know the reasons in my head. But then everything gets fuzzy. And getting things out of my head to believe them is tricky. If that makes sense. I mean, it doesn't make sense to me.
No, it does. It's easy to think the logical thing and know that is the logical, reasonable thing, and it's something else entirely to look at your emotions and ask them to step in line, as it were. But thank you for telling me, and I can promise you this, Ix, I will never keep a secret from you again.
Thank you.
Butterscotch?
Oh, please, yes.
Irene pulls out a thing of Werther's Originals.
You're damn right she does. She's in her element. She gets enhanced grandma powers. You don't know where the Werther's Originals came from. receive a Werther's original.
X kind of tries to bite it. Is it a hard Werther's original or a soft Werther's original?
There are soft ones?
There are soft ones in the UK.
I've never had a soft
Oh,
one
I've had
in my
those.
life.
Those are good.
Normally ones.
I've had the soft ones
They're-
and the
they're
ones that have
fluffy.
like the
They're
soft
really good.
insides. Yeah, the soft ones are really good.
Inside ones as well.
The ones that have like the stuff inside of them, like the chocolate, oh my god, they're delicious.
Well, fuck me then.
I'm in the same boat as you, Parker. I thought that this was a hard bitch only situation.
I have a confession. I don't
What?
think I've ever been in a room with Werther's originals.
Oh my god.
Little wrapped butterscotches. It was like my grandma always had a little glass. My great grandma always had like a little crystal dish, just fucking
Yes.
chock full of those motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Aren't my
Decadence.
parents had an M&M machine?
Oh
The
my
weirdest
god.
thing, Nocturne. The weirdest
Yeah.
thing, Nocturne, is I can guarantee that you have been in a room with a Werther's originals because I keep them in my backpack.
Okay, but I haven't seen them. I've never seen them in my life, Parker.
God.
That's fair.
Next
When I make
Gayvember,
it
we
back
need
up
to
there.
next Gayvember,
Yeah.
we need to have a
From me.
Werther's party.
Remember, if I can make it, I need to bring some of the chewable ones because they are really good. Actually, I should bring 2 packets because I will devour a packet of those because I fucking love the chewy ones.
Chewy ones are delicious.
Back up a little bit here, boys. Parker, you just keep a thing of Werther's originals in your backpack at all times. You are Irene.
I don't keep a bag of them. I have some loose butterscotch candies in my bag from at a point in when I was living in Australia where I did have just a bunch of butterscotch on me all the time. For blood sugar reasons.
It's really easy to get here, and Parker quite likes it, so we just bought a lot and they got scattered everywhere.
Yeah, they're just like in my bag, like loosely, and every time in my normal school backpack, and every time I have to go look for stuff in my backpack, I pull out butterscotch, and I don't know where it comes from.
It just spawns in there.
Love it.
Incredible, actually.
You have a butterscotch spawner in there.
Light level 7 or less.
So true.
The butterscotch that Irene gives Ix, I will say, because it's the only butterscotch I know, is gonna be the hard butterscotch. Like the hard Werther's originals, because that's what I associate with the grandparent whom Irene is loosely based off of. So
It is pulling a hole. I have no idea what it is, but I do not want to disappoint. And it kind of very tentatively starts to eat it and tries to bite it, and then you kind of see the whole face kind of go, oh, it's hard.
Oh, it's more of a sucking candy, dear.
Oh, I've never eaten these before, so,
Oh, well, if you'd ever like one, if you like them, if you don't like them, just let me know, and I'll get different candy, but I keep them around.
Oh, that's cool. Thank you.
Of course, dear.
On a slightly related but different note, Ara, does she know about the whole situation with the blood and they take your blood? I mean, I assume she knows.
I have never had that conversation with her.
I mean, it's the sort of thing where if she doesn't know, maybe we or you, it might come better coming from you to give her a heads up about that.
Well, the thing about that is that she doesn't actually know that we were involved in any, If I told her that, she would have reason to wonder where I came across that information. And, well...
So basically what you're saying is I've got to gear up to having a third awkward conversation with somebody.
No, I'm saying I'm saying I would appreciate your help maybe coming up with a story for how to sort of explain that to her, because I did not tell her anything about our interactions with the devils or with Socia. I certainly didn't mention your name in any capacity to her. So I'm not really sure how to approach it. I'm being perfectly honest.
because I think it would upset her a little bit. But then again, I think most things I've said lately have upset her. So,
I mean, I suppose we could get Julius to do it.
well, I mean,
I know that he's crime adjacent occasionally, right?
I think it's an easy assumption to make about him.
He has the face. It's the face.
If you say so, dearie. Yes, maybe we should ask Julius to do it. That might be. Yes, that's a very, very good idea, dearie. Thank you.
I'll have a word with him and ask him nicely.
All right, and I don't know.
I mean, if it comes from Julius, just kind of as a heads up, I've heard that this is the shit the devils get up to, then we don't even need to mention that you really kind of came across that shit back in Haratari at all.
Yes, yes, I really don't want to bring up that whole situation because say she was going to have her killed, because of our actions, and I sort of had to bargain with him to make that not happen, and I really don't want her to find out about that.
Yeah, like I say, I'll ask him to be subtle.
All right, yes, okay. Thank you, dearie. That's very thoughtful, that's very helpful, I appreciate it.
I mean, I didn't like it when I knew that was hanging over me. I figured that the least we could do is make sure she knows it might be hanging over her so she can do something about it.
That's a very, I hadn't even considered that, dear, but yes, that's very smart to consider, thank you. Yes. How do you like the butterscotch?
It's, I think I like it. I don't know that I could eat a lot, it's quite sweet.
It is very sweet. It's good. It's good for a little pick me up. They make soft ones apparently, but I could get some of those if you don't like the hard texture.
I mean, I'd try them, but don't go out of your way. This is nice enough.
All right. Well, we'll find out about all that. If I happen to run into some, maybe I'll get some. I bet Mima would like those.
I've not even really, tried really lots of sweet things.
Oh well, I'll get some different candies then, just so you can have sort of a variety.
Thank you. I like that.
Of course, dearie. All right. Do you need anything? Do you want a snack? Are you hungry?
No, I ate quite a bit of breakfast.
All
I'll
right.
have another cup of tea though, please.
Yes, tea, of course.
And I figure that's a conversation had and handled.
Thumbs up.
Yeah.
Conveniently, we can see what Aster wants to say to Julius.
You're damn right you can. I know how to do a setup.
Thank you.
Today, because otherwise he will chicken out again. Because he is also a coward.
Coward squad.
Yeah.
Julius, you find Aster upstairs in the guest room.
Yeah. I think he's kind of laid down some paper and you can see him kneading this lump of clay, and he breaks it into 2 pieces. And then leaves them for about 2 seconds and then squashes one of them back into a ball. There's frustration in the way that but you watch that pattern repeat at least twice, that into 1, into 2, then squash one of them.
Julius is just gonna he watches this for a minute, and then eventually he's gonna knock on the frame of the door. Just hello? Want to talk about something, Aster?
Sorry, can you repeat what he said?
You want to talk about something, Aster?
He is trying very hard to keep a straight face, but you can see him just fingers on the bridge of his nose and rubbing a V. He leaves like a streak of clay across his nose. Yeah,
he looks
I
like
guess
he
I
wants
do.
to say something for a second and then shuts his mouth.
Can you close the door?
Sure. He will, close the door. You get like a sidelong look from him, but he doesn't look judgmental, just like curious.
Yeah. I think I want some advice, and I think of our friends, you're the best person to ask.
Oh. He'll kind of like, in this room, is there something to sit on? Because he's probably just gonna go sit down, make himself look non-threatening.
There's a rolled up like futon.
He'll just plop down. Give a little bit of a pat if there's room for Aster to sit too.
Yeah, if there's room, he will wipe his hands off on a damp cloth and,
If you need something to mess with while we talk, go for it. I don't know if Granny would mind too much if you got clay on it. You know?
no, I can... So, a lot of what has been going on... I started thinking about this with you and Nathaniel. That's a first step, is I started... All of this has been in a box, and I thought that was fine. And then I saw you and Nathaniel and your moms, and it just...
He cocks his head a little bit.
Something took a knife to the box, and then hearing Irene talk about her sons and seeing her grandchildren and that whole thing. I can't figure out how to get things back in the box, and I'm so scared of looking at what's in the box. His face scrunches a little bit scared, and he's like, scared's not right. It doesn't matter. It doesn't...
Julius is just gonna, like, give you a moment to kind of get that out for a minute, and he's just gonna be like, why'd you put the feelings in the box in the first place?
Hey, can I ask another of those persuasion checks?
Oh god, everybody wants him to get persuaded. Get persuaded, idiot. That's a, oh Jesus, that was not as...
Vibe check of...
That was not
if we're cutting right to it, or if he's gonna talk around it.
So that's a 14. That wasn't as good as last time.
Yeah. Because with everything that happened, I didn't feel like I could face it. And now I think I might have to. But I think I need to give you some more context.
That might be
takes
helpful
the
for me.
He takes off the chain that his holy symbol is on and sort of holds it flat in his hand and was doesn't matter. The youngest of two. We were twins, but I was 15 minutes younger, and that was always a point of, it wasn't contention, but it was a thing I was always aware of, even though he wasn't. It was always, well, there was one of us, you knew the other one was. And after what happened, I didn't feel like I could go home. And it was better that we were both born. That's what I always thought. That it was a tragedy and an accident, but that was a really fucked up thing to think. But I was a kid. And
That was... Pardon me, I didn't mean to interrupt, but was that connected to the darkness stuff you talked about with us? You didn't mention a whole lot about it, but honestly, I think that's the only context I have at the moment.
not much of it. I remember there was a quarry. I don't know if it was quite a quarry, but it was something in that sort of vein. And he pauses and closes his hand around the holy symbol to the point where, like, the edges of this lotus medallion are sort of digging into his palm. We shouldn't have been that. But you know when you're kids, and you know when you're 15 and you think that
you're invincible. That the rules of the world don't apply to you. I know that perfectly.
I got killed. And I couldn't face going back and knowing that I got my brother killed. So I let them think that we were both gone. I took this, and I accepted the job, and I told myself I didn't look back. Because facing the fact that I got my brother killed, and facing the fact that everything that happened, it's all like broken glass. And maybe that's the other reason I put it in the box, because that's, you sweep up broken glass and you put it in the trash. You don't, unless you're really skilled, but I'm not.
Right.
But seeing your family and seeing Irene's family and I don't know how to approach. It's been 15 years. I don't know how to approach. Hey, it's your youngest son. I didn't actually die, but I've been too much of a coward to talk to you about it.
You know, Aster, I feel like we're very similar in that sense.
Why do you think you're the only one I talk to?
He's gonna kind of like lean back on his hands.
There's no venom in that, by the way. There's just...
Yeah. No, he gets it. He just kind of like leans back on his hands a little bit and thinks, no, I don't want to make assumptions about your parents. God knows we don't know a lot about them. But if my parents are anything to go off of, I think knowing that you're alive means more to them than the actions you did. My parents know that I've killed people. But there's a difference between an accident and well, a circumstance. And it is hard to face that sort of thing head on. Especially when it's a family member. I can't say that I fully understand that. I didn't have a sibling, or at least I didn't think I did for most of my life. But I thought I had killed my family, the ones that I chose. I thought I wasn't enough for them. And that is a very heavy burden to carry, especially for how long you've carried it.
There's so much I wouldn't be able to tell them, because I wouldn't put this in their laps. And he holds out the symbol. I wouldn't put what I have done and what I will do in the name of my faith in their laps. That's not. I feel like I'd be just digging up old wounds if I were to reach out. But I don't know if that's my cowardice talking or what.
He's gonna give you a slight smile and just say, I think it's very brave that you're thinking about it. And quite honestly, I think it's the cowardice. It's much braver to reach out and face the consequences than anything else. And I think that a parent's love is more than most of us understand.
Wouldn't that go the other way, though? Because I got killed. And if there is... I've seen the way that people react when something takes their child. It's my job to see that.
I'm not in the same job field as you, but I know people who have had their children taken away from them. Maybe there's a chance that they would blame you for it. But a lot of the times, parents are more happy to have both one of their children than not at all. And if I were to put myself in their own shoes, I think I would be more distressed to have both of my children gone in an instant than one of them have made a sad mistake. And one that they tried to rectify for many years afterward, who suffered consequences for it already.
I tried to find him afterwards, and I was told that that's not something we can do, that it gets very messy to seek out the people that you know. I was never directly told that it distracts from the big picture, but that was always the implication I got. Never from Tina, never from any of the others in our group, but others I spoke to, there was that sense of, where possible, you have to keep your personal and your faith separate so that you can keep doing the job.
There's a moment that on Julius's face, he looks like, what the fuck is wrong? Like, there's a moment where you see that push through and he hides it immediately.
The other thing I will give you as a freebie is, you have to remember that Asta, yes, he is 30, but also a lot of this is rooted in a deeply traumatized 15-year-old.
Oh, yes.
So you don't know how accurate his read on it was.
Yeah. No, Julius is like, God damn, put your faith separate. That's like the opposite from every faith thing he's been taught of, like, remove it from your normal life. He's like, why? Jesus Christ.
But all of that still leads to the... I don't know how I would even begin to approach reaching out.
Well, there's always sendings.
It's not something you can sum up in a sending.
I'm kidding. No, well, first off, we could probably make a stop there. I mean, at this point, we don't really have a place that we're going after this. After we figure out things for Granny and take care of her grandchildren. I don't think that our group would be opposed to you visiting some family after a decade. And I'm willing to help you if you need pointers on what you might want to say.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm up for facing them directly yet, but maybe even if I don't send it, I might get your help with drafting a letter so I can understand some of what I want to say. Even if I draft that letter, and then we go to...
He grins at you.
Sorry, as Joe, I'm looking up a name because all of these notes were on my other phone. And we go to fucking Faran and just face the music.
I mean, sometimes the best thing is to rip off the band-aid. Or, excuse me, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
I didn't really know what I was stepping into when I spoke with my parents, quite honestly. But, I mean, you have a desire to talk with them, right? You want to make things right? Let me put it this way. Would you want to explain things to them if you were given the chance?
Yeah, but okay, the thing that you need to understand, when I compared it to Broken Glass, the first clarity I have is Tina talking to me in the aftermath. That is the... Everything else is in shards at best. I don't know if I can give them an explanation.
I suppose my version of saying it that way made it seem like that. I mean, what has happened to you right now? Where you are at right now. I don't mean what exactly happened, I mean the road you've been up to at this point. The reason why you've been gone. That explanation, because that right now is what matters. Yes, the circumstance matters. But that is for you. Not for them, for you.
He hesitates and turns the amulet over in his hand. Then lets lets it drop so the chain is looped over his fingers and it's swaying slightly. I think so. I think I want to put that not terror, but that heartache in Straits to rest. That was the first time I was thinking about it in... Oh. I'm not sure. I'm not sure when I managed to put it in the box and put it out of my mind. But what we got shown in Straits is the first time. It's the first time that box has been off the shelf in a while. And that's such a fucked up thing.
No, I agree with you with that one. That was a bit fucked up, but... yeah. You can't always help that. I guess it all boils down to what you want, and if you're ready to dump the contents of that box out.
I don't know if I'm ready, but I don't know if I'm gonna get a choice, because apparently someone keeps taking a box cut of the damn thing.
Hey, maybe you didn't... I don't exactly know what you need, per se, but... you know...
No,
keeping a box forever isn't quite the best thing. I think it's time to unpack. And make a home for yourself.
That's why I needed to... Because I keep thinking about having this conversation, and I keep going, can't face that right now, and then it just...
And you had to talk to the asshole of the group for it.
Yes, check. What was that?
I said, and you had to talk to the asshole of the group about it, is what Julius said.
I had to talk to the only person who knows a complicated relationship with siblings. Complicated relationship with family, sure, I can throw a rock and hit any member of our group, except maybe Nan. But siblings is a unique niggle.
So. Yeah. I mean, at this point, the closest sibling relationship I have is Shinohara, but I do count Nathaniel in that bracket.
Still looks at you and makes a face. And he kind of, like, hides his mouth a little, like, he kind of, finger against the upper lip, just to hide his expression for a moment.
What? What did I say wrong now? Are you laughing at me?
Laughing at you. You and Ix are siblings. Or if you aren't yet, you will be.
Oh god. Don't tell Ix that. I think she'll actually kill me. Just to assert dominance.
Pats your leg and it's like... I mean, that would be a really stupid way for that to not stick, but I can make sure it didn't stick. Don't worry about it.
Dumb ways to die. You know, I've been close to death enough, it's fine. We're buddies at this point.
The expression changes for a second. There is the visual of, oh, don't say that, but he very quickly, like, smooths it back to...
Look.
Oh.
Never mind. I'll explain it some other day when it's less awful.
Thank you.
But, in all seriousness, Aster, we're gonna be here for you. If you want to go see your family, we'll take you there. And we'll support you through it.
Smack me upside the head if I chicken out again?
Oh no, we'll be dragging you there by your fluffy little head.
He makes the most disgruntled cat expression you have ever seen.
I will say when he says fluffy little head, Julius does ruffle your hair.
Yeah.
Because that's the type of person Julius is.
That's not the noise my Aster makes, but you just can't bat at your hand. If you're gonna mess with my head, you get to fix it later.
Yeah. Like, that's a problem.
Yeah. I don't know if I want to draft that letter yet, or if I still need a bit to settle, but I know that if I drag my feet too long, you'll...
Give me a time frame.
Drag me somewhere in private to call me on it, or call me out in front of the group, which is even more mortifying.
Look, Aster, just give me a time frame that you would be not comfortable, feel would be appropriate, and if you don't get it by then, I will be on your ass about it. How's that sound?
Okay.
I'm very good at being annoying in this sort of situation. Deadlines are my favorite to pester people about.
God. You and... He says a name, I'm not sure whose name he says, but There is someone in the squad who's just like, oh god, you and whoever should never meet. I will know no peace from deadlines if the two of you meet. It's said jokingly, like he is smiling, but there's that like sort of mock dread. I'll figure out what sort of timeline I want. I don't think I have the brain to do that right now.
That's alright.
But I'll get you at least a timeline that I want to try to do this by.
Well, I'll hold you to it. And
He just leans, just press his shoulder against yours.
yeah, Julius is gonna kind of scoop you up a little bit.
Yeah.
Julius' big brother hug is what he's doing right now.
Remind me how tall Julius is?
I think he's like 5'10" or something. Let me look at my stuff. Hold on.
Yeah.
5'11".
Just kind of grumbling. I cannot believe that I am still short.
We'll just get you some really tall platforms one day. Get you some makeup, we could probably get you to look a little bit older. Not by much, but a little bit.
If we can manage to hit 18, that'd be fantastic, because most places won't blink if you're 18. Well, they might a little bit, but it's like, oh yeah, you're supposed to be here.
Well, we'll have to invest in some pretty nice cosmetics. I think that's the least we can do for you. Maybe you'll finally be able to fucking get an ale for once.
Yeah, I can't always rely on having asshole criminal friends who see no problem with giving a child alcohol. Playful little Hodge.
One of these days the watch will be called on us and we'll get our asses handed to us, but it's fine. It's the things we do for our friends, right?
Yeah. You ever done much with clay? I know you're more of a painter, but...
I mean, I made a bowl or two every once in a while, but not much. It was really nice to see people sculpting, though. It seemed pretty relaxing.
Want to try?
I could give it a shot. I'm pretty good at everything I do. He is saying this jokingly.
Oh yeah, Aster just kind of... I've got the basics down, but oh god, I'm glad that we kind of ended up blowing off my possible entry into the sculpting competition, because good god.
You know, I do kind of regret that I wasn't able to participate, but it's you know, we didn't have time. I guess I could have submitted an earlier work, but that's how it goes. We have next year.
But you've had such scathing things to say this year, and earlier work wouldn't have done it justice.
The things I could say. We'll leave it for next year. And then we'll have some playtime.
You'll have some playtime indeed. Astro lore dump.
Yeah.
Aster.
I'm
so sad.
Oh my god.
I am
little lad.
To you guys.
Man.
I was this emoji, IRL.
I wasn't looking at the chat, but the weed bowl is very funny. He made like an ashtray once.
You want some fucking
Good for him.
Man, yeah, Julia's gonna bully so many people. What's next on the list?
What is next on the list?
Oh, there was a Julius.
Julius
Granny
and
slide.
Granny, apparently.
Oh yeah, what was Julius and Granny for?
I don't know, buddy. You're the one that started.
No, I started because it was important for you.
Was it?
I put it specifically in the order of the first label, the first name was the person who wanted to initiate the conversation. So Julius is first for a reason, presumably. We don't have to do it. I don't remember what it was.
I don't really know either, to be honest.
Oh, wait, no, I just scrolled up further. It's about the book that you found.
Right.
Yes.
The arcane shit. Yes. Julius is gonna go find Granny and add.
For Julius.
And I'm gonna have to dip. I'm afraid it's.
All right.
1
Yeah.
We
So-
love you.
Very
Hi, Granny.
Bye,
Bye.
Amy.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye.
Boy.
Quality Ix moments this session. Can't wait to have
Literally.
more.
Yeah.
Love an Ix.
So glad we got to talk to Ix.
Yes. Amy, we love having you around, and I'm sorry
has
time
gone
zones don't
already.
quite work. I know, no, this is for the sake of recording.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
This is in case Amy listens back to recording.
This is so valid.
All right.
Okay.
Julie's got a book.
I do
For
have
Granny.
You got a book.
Presumably after the Astra conversation, he's gonna, like, wander around, see where the hell Granny is.
Mm-hmm. Easy enough to find her.
Granny!
Oh, hello, Julius. How are you doing?
Doing alright. You know, I don't have the best luck with languages. Do you know anything about, ancient languages lost to time, maybe? Or, arcane things, perhaps? He is saying this in like a I already know the answer to this question.
Well, it's the funniest thing, dearie. I think you've come to just the place. I can cast a little comprehending spell if you'd like me to. What is it?
Really? Well, I happened to find the darndest thing while we were underground, and he's gonna pull out the book.
Oh, right then.
Okay, again, it is a leather-bound book. Very nicely made. Completely in Akavian.
Comprehend languages, baby.
All right. First thing you notice on the very first page, it seems to have a name on it. And then as you open it up and as you start to flick through, it becomes very apparent to you very quickly that this is a spell book.
Yes! Hoping so.
Spell book for my wizard?
A spell book for your wizard!
I'm biting.
Yes, yes, yes.
So it has a number of spells in it for you.
Uh-huh.
I can tell you what they are, or I can give you that information separately, however you want to do it.
I want to know.
You want to know?
I want to know.
Okay. So it does have a couple of spells that you already know in it. It has like alarm and ascending and that sort of thing. The ones that you don't know, however, are interesting.
Oh.
even with the ones that you do know, it takes you a second to figure out what the fuck the spell is.
Mm-hmm.
The construction of a lot of this writing, of this arcane writing, is much different than anything you're familiar with, and it's only really by like looking at the final product of some of this that you can kind of understand what spells are going on here.
Okay.
Where's my list of spells that I was going to give you?
I'm biting.
Sorry. Processing.
You're good.
I also need to look at your spell list real quick.
I've never been so excited to be a wizard.
It has a copy of Absorb Elements.
Ooh.
I'm also like cross-referencing your spell list so I can be sure that I'm telling you the spells that you don't already have. It does indeed have a Gift of Alacrity.
Yay! Yay! Okay, good.
Which
I've been desperate for this spell. Thank you, Parker.
Which is a spell, like, Absorb Elements. When you find it, you eventually recognize what the spell is meant to do, and from there you can kind of get it. You've never seen anything like Gift of Alacrity before.
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah.
But you have it.
Yeah, let's go.
Yes. Ideal.
You are also going to have a copy of Silvery Barbs.
Yes.
Okay.
Detect Thoughts.
Detect thoughts. Detect thoughts is a dangerous spell to give to Granny.
Mm-hmm. A spell called Wither and Bloom, which is also a spell you're not very familiar with.
Okay.
And then one more. Sorry, I know there was...
I'm frantically looking up spells because I know shit and fuck about spells. Wither and Bloom. Yo, that fucks.
I think
That's a fucked up spell.
It's a
Laudna
fucked up
has
spell.
that one.
Fucked
Okay.
up fucking spell. I don't. Oh man, is that
Those are
ethical
good
for Granny
ones.
to use?
That wasn't the question I was asking myself when I picked spells for you.
That's so valid. I'm just thinking that's the question I'm asking myself upon seeing this spell.
And then additionally, a secret chest.
Ooh.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem. They are all in a language you don't understand, and I will tell you that as they are in the spellbook right now, they're not going to be usable for you.
Mm-hmm.
With either comprehend languages or taking it to the library and really buckling down, you'll be able to translate them into something useful, but you will have to put some work into it.
I'm canceling all my other plans for important roleplay moments. It's only spellbook translate. I'm canceling all of my character development.
Granny study moments.
Oh my god. Secret chest is a whack spell.
Granny gets spells.
Granny gets spells.
spells.
Secret chest is so expensive.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure it will be situationally relevant at some point later in our lives where we're gonna really want to stash some shit somewhere.
The paperclip is still in the book as well.
Is it magical?
Are you casting a spell, or do you need to make a roll?
I do not actually have the spell detect magic, so I guess I need to make a roll.
Make an Arcana check.
I always forget that Granny doesn't have detect magic, which seems so stupid. But it's not a cantrip in 5e, so Arcana is going to be that's 14 plus 8 is 22.
It is magical. You can see from kind of the way the particularly the blue sort of stripe around the edges lights up. They're like in the light, like shines, like there's something in it. But it's magical in a way you don't recognize. This magic is complex in a way you've never seen. Not necessarily that it's like more complex than anything you've ever seen, but complex in like a different way. The way it is structured and sort of the way you can feel it, kind of the way it's like resonating with the plane of magic around it, or the wisps of it that exist, is very strange.
Well, I don't have detect magic, but I do have identify.
Okay. Congratulations. As you cast Identify, you are going to get a number of information about the item, but I'm going to give that to you in a second. Because as your spell sort of warps in over it and kind of starts to search, something kind of strange happens. Because usually when you cast Identify, the magic just kind of the spell kind of wraps around the object and sort of encases it with your magic and then sort of reports back to you. This thing, when the magic wraps around it, the only description I can give you is that it's like the object reacts in your hand magically. Like you can almost feel this sort of like complex magical layering in this object sort of kick and start moving.
Bruh.
Like you've woken it up.
Bro?
And then in the back of your mind, you hear a voice.
What?
Bonjour.
Oh my god.
Je m'appelle Trombe. ¿Cuál es tu nombre? You have no idea what the fuck this thing has said to you.
Oh no. There's a French man in my head from a paperclip?
Specifically, that French man.
I'm going to kill you. I'm getting in my car and I'm driving to Ohio. I swear to fucking God, this was your fucking joke.
Joe, my love.
I'm screaming.
Here's the object I spent a while making.
I cannot fucking believe you. You put in my brain? Oh my god. Oh my god. French Clippy. No.
Parker, I've been swearing at you this whole time and I just realized I was muted. Let me just say, how dare you?
Oh my god, and it's so fucking useful too.
It's
Plus
such
one
a
to your
good item. And the consequence is that it's French Clippy in my fucking head?
This is your curse.
Oh,
legitimately not a joke, it's a curse.
I can't. What the fuck?
Oh
I
my
should have
god.
known that it would be something on this scale of bullshit. But God, fuck, you weren't lying. This is the stupidest joke you've ever made. / affectionate.
Oh my god.
To accentuate, trombe as a name is a shortening of the French word for paperclip.
Oh my god.
My god.
Oh my god.
You motherfucker.
I fucking love it. You got
My
fucking
son.
Clippy.
My terrible French son, who is a paperclip.
My terrible French son who is a paperclip. I'm crying.
I love this. I love this for you, Granny.
Such a good item.
Oh my god.
This is so useful. I can't believe you. I'm so mad. I'm driving to Ohio. I have beef with you.
That's so good. Oh, that's so
French
cute.
Clippy is in my brain.
You just hear it. ¿Cuál es tu nombre?
Oh. Oh dear.
Bonjour.
Hello. I don't understand. You don't understand me, I'm sure. Oh dear. That's not what I was expecting at all.
¿Cuál es tu hable?
I need to get. Hold on.
Is Alex in the house?
Probably. I don't see why it wouldn't be.
Granny's gonna go find the cow.
Alright.
Julius looks confused because Granny's
Yeah,
talking
Granny
aloud.
just walked away from you, Julius.
He's gonna follow after you like a lost puppy. Like, where's what?
Alex, dear.
Yeah?
Perchance have accessed that lovely spell that helped us out so much with the languages in the.
Yeah, since that was so useful, I'm just gonna, keep it on me forever, basically.
Oh, that's good. I think it would be very useful right now. There's a paperclip talking to me.
No!
Is that what's going on? Because you just started talking.
And you can't understand it?
I have not the slightest clue what it's saying, no.
I'm gonna cast tongues on Granny. Alex is just rolling with this.
Julius looks so concerned.
Granny talking to thin air is like, hello?
Hello?
Oh, yes. Can we understand each other now?
I think, yes.
Hello.
Hello, my name's Trombe. What's your name?
Oh, I'm Irene. Very nice to meet you.
Irene.
You can call me Granny or anything else you like. What are you?
I'm Trombe. I'm your office assistant.
I knew you were gonna have to say that, that's why.
Oh my god! Your office assistant!
My office assistant, my beloved son!
I'm so glad I had alcohol before this happened.
I'm gonna cry. I'm so sorry. I didn't cry over the Astor conversation, but I'm crying because of my beloved paperclip. Oh my god. Granny's just like,
Oh, all right. So you,
I can help with many tasks as you desire.
that's very exciting. And you'll just sort of talk to me in my head then.
Oui, when you desire.
Ah, all right. Okay. Well, that's good to know. Where are you from exactly?
That is a weird question.
Well,
I am a paperclip.
you are a paperclip. Do you know where you were made? Or how you were made? Or who made you? Or do you not know any of those things?
It looks like you're trying to search a query. Give me a moment.
Oh my god.
Oh my god! I'm in love.
I can't. I don't have any more thoughts about who Irene is as a character. I don't know what the plot of this campaign is. I don't know what D&D is. I just know my terrible French paperclip son.
He kind of goes quiet for a second, but like now that he's awake, in your hand, PK, in your hand, Irene, you can almost feel like this faint magical thrum. It's not causing any like physical movement, but like you can feel it in the arcane layer.
I'm so...
It seems I couldn't find what you are looking for. Perhaps try again with a different set of search words?
Oh my god!
That's all right, Drew. Don't you worry about that. Well, the problem is I can only talk to you really like this. Is there a way to change your language, or for you to learn a new language?
It looks as though you're looking for my language settings.
Yes.
This is Granny trying to navigate a computer. This is exactly what Granny trying to navigate a computer would be like in real life.
Oh my god!
You feel again that little thrum. And then I need to pull out my linguistics chart.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
I have committed to this.
You've committed to Clippy, but he's French.
Oh my. But crucially, it's funny as fuck.
It is. It so is.
This
It is
such
so
a
funny.
good magic item.
I am looking forward to you having to do this when we hit shit getting real. I'm looking forward to the Clippy interludes where you have to manifest French Clippy.
God.
He buffers a second, and then he goes, I have a number of language settings possible. Acavian, Dwarvish, Draconic, Celestial, and Primordial.
Do I know any of those? I don't know what languages I know.
Is there any way to add languages to that? Or are you stuck on your default settings?
You'll need to connect me to a larger computer for that, unfortunately. But when that happens, I can gladly point you towards the places where you can download other language options.
I don't think this spell is working quite right. Well, I will have to learn some new languages for you, since I don't think you'll be able to learn some new languages for me. What were those options again?
Akavian, Dwarvish, Celestial, Draconic, and Primordial.
All right. Well, I will see what of those I can learn. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. But thank you for your help, dearie.
Of course.
Did you
Always
say
here to
Elvish or not?
Sorry, you
Dwarvish.
said the list. Dwarvish. Okay, you said the list, and then I went to look at Alex's languages, and then the list immediately left my brain. I'm so sorry.
Akavian, Dwarvish, Primordial, Draconic, and Celestial.
This is so rude. I don't speak any of those.
It's fine.
Damn, I don't know
Julius
any
and
of them
I can teach you Celestial.
I don't have Celestial as a thing.
I thought you did.
Nope, that's Vice.
Okay, so I guess Asta can teach you
Infernal and
Celestial if you'll let
Common.
him know that you need it.
I wish I had Celestial, but like, you know, Julia's criminal background did not give him Celestial, unfortunately. F. He probably knows like key phrases, but he's not fluent in Celestial.
Well, thank you, Trombe. I will get back to you with more questions, maybe. But I appreciate your help. I need to explain all this to everybody. Everybody's looking at me weird right now. Okay, all right.
You can just feel him faintly thrumming in your hand.
Okay, so the paperclip is talking to me, everyone. Let's just get that clear. I'm not going nuts. There's a paperclip talking to me for real in my brain. He only has Akavian, Dwarvish, Primordial, Draconic, and Celestial that he can speak. He said some nonsense words about how to upgrade his languages or change his languages. He said some very strange words that I didn't understand. But I don't, even with this spell, I didn't understand them. So I don't think that's feasible. So I think in order to continue talking to this paperclip without your help every time, Alex, I'm going to need to learn some different spells. There's a paperclip in my head.
Okay.
That's
and
weird.
He's very helpful. But it's not what I expected to happen.
I don't think a lot of people think that they're gonna listen to a paperclip like that.
Yes, yeah, I was sort of like, oh yes, I'll identify what this is because it feels like it might be magical. And then, well, she holds up the paperclip. His name is Trombe.
Oh,
Interesting.
French. No, what? No, what's the actual
French?
No. What's the actual Palendian? Palendian. Oh. Huh.
Yes, but he doesn't actually speak Palandian.
Oh.
It's just, I think maybe there's root language crossover with all of that. It must be a similar.
So Palandian has some sort of root language situation going on.
Well, Akavian hasn't been spoken for 6,000 years.
What's a root language?
Oh, it's sort of when languages change and develop over time, you see. So if one language could then, over time, with different groups of people in different places, change and develop into many, many languages. So one language could be the base for 4 or 5 or 6, any number of languages. And that language is considered the root language from which all the other languages grew.
Oh.
So it sounds Polundian, but it is actually a Carvian. But it's not.
And so maybe Akavian and Polundian were the same once.
Yes, maybe at one point, which I suppose but paperclip. Well, thank you, Julie. The book is, as well as a spell book, it's got all sorts of nice interesting spells that I might actually be able to take a look at and see if I can get any inspiration from them. So thank you for that, Julius.
Of course. It kind of caught my eye while we were down there and waiting for your granddaughter to take whatever she was taking. I don't know what she grabbed, but I guess it's none of my business.
Ask, I think, but yes, I'm gonna be real. My brain feels like it's dissolving, because of the French paperclip revelation.
It's French.
It's French. It's a paperclip. It's clippy. It lives in my brain. I'm gonna have to learn a new language because Irene doesn't know what the word computer is.
We can let Granny process the paper clip in her brain. Alex or Nin, who wants to talk to Julius? How about we do Nin? I was gonna say,
yeah, sure.
Let's do Nin because Sarah has been quiet for a while.
Sure, we can do me, I guess.
That was Julius just wanting to check in on Nin. As a note.
Check in, motherfucker.
Julius check-in moments. This is the stuff in my brain, I was like, he's doing this on the road, and then I never told anybody I was doing this on the road.
Fair enough. Be a flashback if you want.
Literally. Let's retcon, like, 3 weeks ago. God. No, I feel probably, like, after the conversation and the paperclip revelation, Julius is just gonna kind of go figure out where Nimmer is kind of hanging out, wherever they are.
If there is a large tree nearby, she's probably up in it.
Oh, hell yeah.
There's trees around.
Like, as high up as she can get.
Oh, God.
She has fly.
Yeah, no, that's just me being like, how far is Julius going to climb to, like, placate this fun little interaction? Can I try and climb a little bit into the tree with her?
Yep, make an acrobatics. Or an athletics.
Okay. Okay, that's not as bad as it could have been. I mean, it was an 8, but my acrobatics is a 2, so that's a 10.
You can get somewhat into the tree. You're not gonna fall out, but you can't get as high as Nin can.
She probably finally notices you smashing around in the bottom, like...
Yeah.
Hey, Julius!
Hey, Nimmer. What you doing? Just hanging out?
Yeah, the trees here don't get as big, so, I have to make do, but... It's
Really?
Nice. Kinda reminds me of home.
Well, that's nice. Speaking of, how's it going? Just...
How's what going?
Well, there's been a lot that's been happening in the last couple of weeks. I wanted to see, see if you had any thoughts.
About what? What to do next, or...
I mean, what to do next, I guess, but, mostly just to see...
No, it's weird. I mean... What happened to Ando and Ara to make them hate each other so much? I don't
know.
get it.
I don't know if that's
I
anything.
mean, I only ever had me and Mom, so I would have thought, you know, they would have liked having more family around.
I don't know. For some people, that ends up being a little bit stifling. I wouldn't exactly know that myself, but, there's plenty of sibling rivalries, or just in general familial tension.
They really hate each other.
Yeah.
They really hate each other. What are we gonna do about that?
I'm not sure. It's definitely a delicate matter.
Because they already locked him in a room and that didn't do anything.
Yeah, I think that just made it worse. They didn't want to talk to each other. Or maybe it was good for them.
You think? No, never mind.
Hmm?
I don't know, it's just... It's stupid. Forget I said anything.
Look, I like to hear stupid things, and I promise I'll keep my mouth shut if you'd like me to.
It's just... It feels like... Everyone's going back to their families, you know? Or everyone's finding their families, and... When I left, I kind of thought maybe I had thoughts of finding my birth parents or something, you know? Because I think they're somewhere around here in this plane. And it's a big plane. I don't expect to just run into them, but I wouldn't even know where to start. Mom's never told me anything about them. Just everyone seems to be finding their people.
Is that something you might want to do someday?
Maybe, but I think I mostly just want to know, you know, what I was worth.
He cocks his head at that.
You know, like... You know, why they gave me away. Because they got something out of it. But I don't know what, and I just...
Do I know anything about Feywild stuff, Parker?
Make a... I wanted to say planes check, but that doesn't exist here.
Shit.
Make an Arcana or a History check.
I might do history because I think I'm better at that. Maybe. Yeah, they're the same. I'll do I'll do Arcana. We'll do Arcana. So that's
okay.
No, that's a 7. Keep forgetting he's not trained in Arcana.
Well, the Feywild is a plane.
Hmm.
a different plane of existence to the prime material. However, it is often considered the plane with the closest ties to the prime material. Ties is a bad word. Closest proximity to the prime material. And particularly growing up in some of the rougher places of Horitari, Julius would have probably heard stories about children who wander off too far to from their parents and wander into the Feywild.
Okay.
Though how much of that is actual and how much of that is, for Christ's sake, stop walking away from me. I'm gonna scare the shit out of you, right?
Yeah.
What Julius would know of the Fae then is a lot of like it's the closest in proximity, but you don't want to fuck with it.
Mm-hmm. I don't know anything about Fae children and, like, changeling stuff, I would assume.
No. Not off of that roll.
Okay. He just, like, looks at you blankly for a moment and is like, what do you mean by gotten? That's... what?
You know, like, you make a deal and then they take your firstborn and you get something out of it. You know?
Julius looks
I'm not
horrified.
I wouldn't be mad as long as it was something worth it, you know?
Is that normal where you come from?
I don't know. I mean, it's normal in the Feywild. It's...
Okay. I'm learning a lot of different things. I'm
Why are
trying
you
to...
looking at me like that?
Mostly because, people here don't usually sell off their children. If they can help it.
Not selling, it's a promise.
Okay, I'll promise their children then.
Or it's a deal, you know? It's not selling. She kind of looks weirdly upset at the implication.
Alright, it's not selling. I see. I don't know how this works. I'm just... First words that come to my mind.
It's fine. I guess they don't do that around here, but...
I mean, maybe
You know.
the older type of people may have sold off their children for different gains, but it's usually frowned upon. There's laws.
Huh. I mean, I'm not... I love my mom. I'm not mad that they gave me away. I just want to know why, that's all.
I suppose I can understand that. It's nice to have answers.
Yeah. But that's a long way away. We've got other things to do, I'm sure.
Well, I'm sure along the way we can figure something out for you. If we ever run into your parents, we can figure it out.
That would be wild. Because there are a lot of people here.
Oh yes, the world is
There are
full of
so many
people, isn't it?
people. I wouldn't even know where to start looking. But
Well,
it's a nice
maybe-
dream.
Maybe by chance we'll run into somebody that resembles you.
You had some pretty weird luck, that's true.
I'm a very lucky man. Maybe I'll introduce myself to them someday.
What kind of luck are we talking about?
I mean, I survived death. What do you think?
I guess that's fair.
In all seriousness, Nimmer, want to make sure that we're taking care of you. All right? If there's anything you're uneasy with, anything
Can I
you
tell you
need, you can
something?
talk to me. Yeah, of course.
And you can't tell anyone else.
He'll make a little X motion on his chest.
My name is Nimmer.
He raises
When
an
I left-
eyebrow.
When I left, Mom told me not to tell anyone my real name. You know, because it's not safe. And if people know your names, they have power over you. But I don't think you're gonna abuse that power, so I feel like I can tell you. It's Nin.
Nin.
That's my real name.
He gives you a big smile.
Think she'll just smile back.
Well, Nin, it's a pleasure to meet you. I'm Kei
Oh.
Satoshi.
Yeah, I guess I already did know your name before all of that. I'll tell everyone else in time.
Sure.
But
For now, I'll keep it a
I
secret
wanted
for
you to
you.
know first.
He's gonna give you a soft smile and just, you're a sweetheart.
She just looks kind of embarrassed.
He's gonna ruffle your hair.
She's like 50 feet up.
Oh,
Probably
yeah,
not
right,
that much.
you're in the tree.
We've been having a
he looks like
conversation,
he's gonna,
so
he looks like he wants to go up to you, and then he like slips a little.
She probably came down and sat on a branch with you.
Okay.
So you'd have to shout at each other.
Yeah, we're just shouting up at each other. No, if you came to sit next to him, he just kind of gives your hair a quick ruffle. But like, I feel like he like gets off balance a little bit and rights himself again. And doesn't do it again. There's like the fear of God in his eyes for a second about almost falling out of the tree.
Can't catch you if you're gonna fall. You have to be careful.
Yeah. I've been in a tree a few times.
Not enough, apparently.
Well, you know, it's not a
We're
pastime
gonna have
I
to
do often.
practice.
Oh god, I've gotta add tree climbing to my repertoire.
Yes,
Well, you better teach me then.
it's important.
Is it now?
Yes. It's the best way to get around. Except the trees aren't as close together around here, so I guess it's not the best way here. But you should still learn.
Well, hopefully you're a good teacher.
I'm the best teacher. You'll see.
I'm looking forward to it.
I think that's kind of probably where the conversation...
Yeah.
She'll probably just, sit there up there with you for a bit.
Yeah.
I love her.
Yeah, she's lovely.
I
get
love
to
her.
know what's your name. Yay.
It's only been...
It's been like 2.5 years.
Yeah.
Listen, I did not expect it to go on this long.
It has been
not been,
literally 2.5 years.
it has not been that long in game.
No, it's only
but
been like
out
a
of
couple
game,
of weeks.
Sarah, you have been sitting on.
It's not like you didn't know my name.
I mean,
No.
yeah, but like you've been sitting on nobody using your character's real name.
I don't listen.
2.5 years.
Yeah.
I got all the lore.
Is because Sarah had to miss sessions.
I did have to miss some sessions, but still.
2.5 years.
Yeah.
We've been busy. It's okay.
I know.
But still, we got the name. Julius
got the
gets all
name.
the lore today.
Nana's
Thank you.
perfect. Nana's perfect. I hope this helps.
Lore King Julius, just hoarding
Lore-
all the lore.
One of his other names is Lore King Julius.
I was gonna
Julius,
say they do
the
call
Julius.
him Julius, the Lore King Julius.
Yes.
So
I love all of Julius's different names.
God, man of many names and so few talents.
Rude.
So talented.
All he knows is eat hot chip and lie is the thing. Be bisexual, eat hot chip and lie.
Talents!
He can paint. Are you kidding?
Yeah, but
He has a lot of talent in that area.
That's true, but still.
As it is getting on 9 o'clock, we can either have our last little interaction or we can save Julius and Alex for next session.
What are you thinking?
The thing is, I don't know how long that conversation is going to take. Because it could either be really short or really long.
Alright, so let's hold on to it.
Okay.
Yeah, do you think so, Ren?
Save
How do
that
you
for
feel?
next time?
Mhm.
Yeah, I think also, Alex... I think Granny wants to talk to Alex, right,
Yeah,
PK?
I've got one more granny thing that should also wait till next time because my brain is soup and I don't know how to be a grandma.
All right.
The French paperclip broke my mind.
Just think of it as your grandson, but he's a paperclip.
I can't. That would make me feel uncomfortable.
That would be worse!
God.
Alright.
I'm so excited for the Clippy interludes in amongst the everything else.
Serious conversation, and then there's Clippy.
There's some places that I know are gonna happen. They're gonna be really, really funny if you have to immediately switch track into French Clippy interlude.
Yep. I came up with this bit months ago. Okay? The first thing that came to my brain was like, what if talking magic item but doesn't speak any of the languages the character knows? And I was like, that's a great bit. And then I realized that this would be a good place to give that item. And then I was like, okay, so if it's Irene, if this is my Irene gift, what could I make that would be good for Irene? A spell casting like edition. Okay. And then for some reason, I think I might have seen like a post on Tumblr about Clippy, and I was like, wait.
I hope it wasn't the post that I first thought of when you connected Tumblr and Clippy. 'Cause if it was, that's unfortunate.
I don't think it was. I don't remember what post. I just remember like being like, wait, what if he was Clippy?
Yeah. Alright, would you like me to stop recording?
Yes.
Yeah.
Alright. Bye-bye, recording.